Should be running in. Alright, sorry for the interruption. That was my lovely brother. He just came home from sports. Alright, never mind. So let's continue. Right, this should be the most interesting situation. Yeah, alright, that's perfect. So they're doing exactly what they need. I would have expected him to pick up the Cassiopeia instead of the Olaf, and the Olaf would rush around. But since Cassiopeia has Ghost Up, this works too, so Cassiopeia will pass around here, and they will should be able to make a really cheesy dive onto Ashe happen. Ashe can't use her ult properly, it's not gonna really have a huge impact onto Olaf. Braum has cooldown, so this should be double kill.
Of the map. There's a Bissell Voyage. He's going to deliver for JJ and Ambition. Flash away from back. He gets
perfect. Yeah, that was amazing. Taking exactly to her limits and perfect. So, that's exactly what SKT had to expect and what Samsung needed. So really played it perfectly played. Nice execution of that play. Just sad that the Cloud Drake wasn't really there. So Poppy teleporting to make sure that as a Samsung is able to get first tower break. So this really goes in favor of Samsung's kind of powers. Like they need to like transit this into more pressure, more control in the bot side, and then try to really shove onto mid lane.
2,000 gold lead. They have the kill advantage. First tower blood. And it all stems from this phenomenal tower.
Yeah, that was an amazing execution. Couldn't have made it any better. SKT should probably have been seeing this, but there's not. Like they could have retreated earlier, but that was just like nothing they could have done about it. Unless they reacted earlier.
That we saw earlier in the series from Samsung. They made a play in the bottom lane, but they didn't coordinate all members. This time around, they bring the mid lane guns and they get the extra.
I'm not even sure I'm gonna send you this because I might even upload it in 2 portions or something like that because I don't think I can send you something this big as an email
to defend mid lane. They also lose chip damage on the top lane turret. So we're at an interesting inflection point of the game right now where Samsung can take control of the top side of the map and make sure the mid lane and top lane don't get pushed in as hard.
And so to this lane swap, it makes sense. Obviously that SKT swaps too, so they don't get jumped down in their tower.
They've lost the 2 games. In game 4 of this series, they fell behind, but not this early and not this much.
It's like Trundle has the edge over Poppy normally, so Poppy is
not in this way. All of the kills there went over to Samsung's carries. 2 for Crown and 2 for Ruler. The Jhin loves getting so much
because Poppy is after armor item power spike right now. Trundle will be stronger again really soon.
JJ is devoured.
Ambition is here.
Ambition's running in. Teleport
So
coming down, but Cubase doesn't have his available. But JJ is already killed. Faker is there to join the party.
This was really like if SKT hadn't done this would have probably looked really bad for them from here.
Samsung have now play more aggressively. Cubase even
so they're rotating with full vision control, which is really good.
All of the kills there went over to Samsung's carries. 2 for Crown and 2 for Ruler. The Jhin
Wolf goes to clear the pink ward, which they want to prevent, so they're going towards him. And it was simply a bait. That was such a nice play. He really sneaky kill. Nice kick. That was really nice.
Faker was there to join the party.
Like Ruler couldn't really do anything about it because Wolf was blocking any damage incoming, so that was the
thus far.
Well, he wanted to hit the arrow to stop Jin's ultimate, but Faker charging at your face is also going to cause him to pack up early and leave. Yeah, they definitely doubled down on that interrupt, but I will.
So now them clearing this tower is like a huge point for SKT, because if Samsung could have kept that tower, they would have applied so much control towards the top side. I still hope you see my mouse. Like they could have applied so much control towards the top side super easily, just like with this tower being down and everything else being up on the map means like they're kind of like they have the Trundle shoving here, which Poppy can easily defend. So this side is kind of safe, and they know that anything happening will most likely be in this portion of the the map. So having control over this tower would mean control over this area, which could help them like set up really nice vision control over here, maybe there, and that way giving them an option to really break into the front field of SKT, taking down this portion of the map. So for Samsung, for SKT, clearing this tower means that they at least keep control over this track, so the control kind of breaks here, and their tower should be safe a little easier.
This time it was SKT who was faster on the
Samsung's
roam,
pushing
and
so deep.
JJ's aggressive play on Tom
Because SKT
well
obviously invested a lot, but
How fitting
he's
with these
pushing
two
really
teams
far forwards.
down to the game 5, going blow for blow, play for play. Still though, Samsung with a slight edge.
Yeah, it's starting to feel more and more like a game of chess. Each move costing
So
viewers,
now, like,
costing objectives.
Trundle will
And at
become
some
stronger
point,
and
if you wanna
stronger,
play something that
even
is
compared to
extremely
what's Puppy.
important,
Like, Puppy will be
15
good
minutes
in
in,
team fights, but
teamwork
Trundle will be
versus it's still dead
a
even.
monster in split push, so they need to be really aware of the Trundle in the next minutes, so they should probably set up something around him and play a little around the Trundle position.
It's all kind of fitting together here for these guys to
Yeah, going bot
just try
lane
and
makes a lot of
outplay each
sense
other
now,
with
because
a
they
lot of the
can't
same tools.
really do anything on top lane. Their tower is down, Drake will spawn soonish, so retreating from that like basic plan to take the top tower makes sense now.
Split pushing right now.
Trying to fight the dragon.
Technically a 1v1, but the Tom Kench in mid lane
Like,
has the ability to
make
get
it
there so
impossible for
quickly.
Trundle
With
to
both
push.
top laners no teleport, the Tom Kench
So
Abyssal
this makes a lot
Voyage
of
play
sense.
is huge, and they're actually pinging.
Oh, Ruler's in trouble. Bang's gonna throw down
is
into
so
onto
risky.
Crystal
What's he
Arrow.
doing?
That gets the stun.
Like, the
Flash
whole
and heal
team is
used by
shifted to
Ruler.
bot lane. Why would
Bang
Ruler go
manages
there?
to turn that one around.
That's the two summoners.
Sorry,
That
yeah,
was
Bang
just
gets
a
the win.
simple macro mistake.
Interesting that
The team rotated
Tom
towards
Kench
bot side to
didn't
set up
decide
good
to
vision
join that
control,
play. I
and
think
Ruler
maybe because Ruler
goes in
had
the
been
open
taken so
PvP with
low, they
Ash,
decided
which
to call
Ash
it
is
off.
obviously
He's
gonna
gonna
win.
turn it around.
Go for it now. Now they go for it. They delay.
Well, here comes core JJ
Oh,
and
that
Ambition.
was alright.
It's
That was a
all
nice
about
play.
the
Like,
long
I like it.
Gorgeous play.
Yeah, Bang gets the win.
Like, Ash
Interesting
shoots
that
her
the
Hawkeye
Tom
now
Kench and Cassiopeia didn't decide
and
to
expects
join that
Jin
play.
to
I
be
think maybe
recalling,
because
so
Ruler
she
had been
tries
taken
to
so
shove
low,
out
they just
the
decided
wave,
to call it off.
and he really like goes to the edge of his range, and they make a not expectable play. Like, this was so hard for Bang to expect.
Gorgeous
I really
play.
like it.
Bang will
they
get
can
right
hit 'em.
down.
Man,
So turning that around was really
the
nice.
patience on the Tom Kench right there, thinking that
After
oh,
that huge
if they're
mistake
not gonna
from
go,
Ruler.
the first time he goes aggressive, maybe he's safe. Wolf roams down to the mid lane. As soon as they say Wolf in the mid lane, they know they can't counter the Tom
They
Kench roam.
can't take that tower.
Beautiful.
And SKT can't even
So
take
Samsung
that turret.
didn't. That was a nice play from Samsung. Like, trying to like limit the damage a little bit. It's gonna mean a dragon for SKT. Yeah, Duke is gonna get really strong. On his next recall, he will be able to like extend his power spike even further. Yeah. Well, Poppy now needs to go into magic resist and maybe get Spirit Visage.
SKT racking up the extra early Drakes, whereas it's
So
Samsung
Trundle will
with the
be
early
a lot
gold
stronger
lead.
in that
Even
matchup.
after Faker equalizes this mid turret, they will sit on the slight early gold
So they
lead.
even it
But
out,
the only
like,
difference is two
Samsung
Cloud
gets the
Drakes
top
for
lane
SKT.
tower.
Now they're bound bottom though, and
He's gonna try
Yeah,
taxi
that was
away.
exactly what they should have tried to prevent. But going back here, Samsung taking the top lane tower, which was their original plan, which SKT couldn't really do anything about because they were going for the dragon. It is to be expected for Samsung that SKT from the dragon is rotating down, especially because they have no vision control at all on the bot side. But Poppy can't really retreat because Trundle is shoving super heavily and getting the big minion wave in there. So like there's the full minion wave that Trundle is shoving in, and Poppy can't really do anything about it. So Poppy was in a really unfavorable situation of not being able to cast the ult, which Poppy probably was planning on. Right, if they get me, I'll just ult them off. Because Trundle did so much damage in that round. So nice play from SKT, kind of limiting the power spike from Samsung. So the next 10 minutes will still be really heavily in Samsung's favor if they play that properly. That's exactly what makes them Kench so strong. Because like, Ash ult
Arrow
out,
looked
Brown
like
ult
he was
out,
going to
and
hit until the Devour.
And the big deciding
all
factor
Tom Kench
is, I mean,
does is just eat
we've
him.
had so many plays in this game. Both teams are trying to make all these cross-map plays
So
and
knowing
these
that
counters. With the
Samsung has the
double
pushing
Cloud
power
Drake
and
now,
the control,
SKT are fitted out with rocket
the deep
boosters
vision
to
doesn't
make
really help
cross-map
SKT
plays,
too
and
much,
they
so
can
they need to be
answer
really
and
aware of
punish
their mid lane
much,
power.
much easier.
No room for error for Samsung Galaxy. Luckily, they've got
Ooh,
long-range engage.
Faker will go
Ambition
in the
looking
really decent
for
position
Faker's
there.
rooted down. Curtain call will miss a stationary
And again,
target.
he's just
The
eating it
Devour
up,
comes
so.
up. That will at least get an escape route. Faker.
Two ults
Lucky
out
Ruler didn't connect
for
that shot.
Yeah.
Now the
Samsung,
tower's
but
under
still they're
pressure.
like
Trying to
in the
zone out
pushing
the engage from the
favor
left
right
side
now.
while the minion wave comes up there, but
And
the Victor, very good
it's
at
like
clearing waves.
Meanwhile, we're
for
seeing
having the outer lanes
the
pushing is the
farm
only
being
really
traded
pro for
by the
SKT,
top
so
laners.
Trundle
Next
pick was exactly
push.
what they need.
And really,
Trundle pushes so
both
much
teams
heavier than the
also
Poppy.
trading deep vision here in the bottom side of
Poppy
the map
wants to
as
grow.
the Drake is
Like
really
really
the point
wants
of
to
contact,
get
so
into
that's
a
where
good team
most
fight,
of the
while
resources
Trundle can
are
just
going
like
to
make
be.
sure that all the waves
There's
are
another
constantly pushing
cloud break,
towards
Kobe. So if
Samsung.
SKT already have rocket boosters with
The
two
last.
of them,
This coming Cloud Drake
And the double
is
Cloud
the
Drake is,
last Cloud Drake of Worlds
as the
2016.
casters just say,
And our
a nice
stats
thing
guy
for
Spells was really trying to
SKT,
get us to
because it
mention a stat about
enables
Cloud
the
Drakes
Trundle
because
to join
SKT
team
have
fights by
gotten
just
way
running
more
around
Cloud
it,
Drakes
and
than
Lee Sin
any
gets a
other
lot
Drake
more
in
mobile.
Worlds.
It really
Fitting
plays
somehow that they're not
towards
getting
their
rid of the
favor,
Cloud Drake in
because
the final game.
Cloud Drake on
Now
Samsung
you
would have
spawned all
been
the
really,
conspiracy
really
theories.
deadly for SKT, so
Far
having
in
those
the
first two
Reaching
takes it
back, saying,
away
Cloud
from
Drake again,
Samsung,
let's go.
which
We
is
want SKT to
really
run
great for
faster.
them.
How
And
do you
also it
overthrow
helps them
a
like
dynasty?
escape from the Olaf
Flood them
and in
with
general
Cloud Drakes.
with better rotations.
well, Samsung have to still
But I feel like
overthrow
Samsung should have
that dynasty.
made more out of
They have
this.
to
Like they have so
overcome
much,
in game
like
5.
such an edge in
Bengi not gonna
their
follow on to
composition
that
at the moment.
correct.
If they would have just
Again,
done a
this
nice
is a
group
game of
push, they were
inches
like,
at the moment as we're getting close to
it's
20
World
minutes.
Finals, and they're
QA
probably a
really
little
puts
afraid
up
of
a
making
steadfast presence there,
a
so,
risky proactive
Bengi
play,
being
but that's
denied if he
exactly what
tried
they
to go
need. They
in,
need to make a
and
proactive
on the
play
other
towards mid
side,
lane. Now the
looks like
waves
they're
are
gonna
even.
smite it, I
Poppy
guess,
has
but
to like
not gonna
move in
play risky after
as
he
soon
was
as possible,
punished at
maybe
the red buff
teleport
early
here.
on.
And that steadfast presence could
They need to
become
make a really
so
proactive
pivotal
play
when you
to
look
get
at the
something
low
done.
mobility Cassiopeia and Jin. If
Because
Bengi's looking to dive
if
in
they
there
keep
and
like
find a
taking
target,
it too slow,
he
the
would be
game
denied.
will
And if
punch
that
back
is not
towards
available,
SKT.
obviously the safety net of Core JJ's Tom Kench. They've got a very well-crafted sort of multiple safety net team composition here on the side of Samsung.
Yeah, and
I don't
something
like this.
SKT
They
has
keep
struggled
like
with this series is
this
actually
1-3-1
closing
isn't really
games
smart
in
right
which
now.
they have an advantage. The Tom
But
Kench
rather
and the
1-2-1
Cassiopeia is going
than
to make it
Olaf
even harder
roaming
for
around,
SKT
and
to close this
it's
game if
basically
they are able
1-3-1,
to
but
get
it's
center.
not really smart. They need to team fight. Trundle will
So
be
many
pushing heavier and
opportunities
heavier
as
the further the
both
game
teams
goes, so
have
they need to
crafted
really,
many
really make
playmaking
sure that they
abilities
start
here
taking
for
off those
mid-game.
turrets
This has been the
so they
most
can
even
set
game
up
that we've
control
seen
and
the entire
get an
series. It's
advantage.
a
Because if they
very
don't
different
do
team
it right
composition
now,
when
where
you
they
look
have
at
their
the two
power
duos.
spike,
So Kobe, what are we looking at
the Olaf
in the
engage
next
will
few minutes?
become
Both teams have got
more
strong
worthless.
initiation tools. There's a dragon coming up in a minute and a half, but it's not
They
the
can't really take
juiciest to fight
objectives
over.
with
Like,
the Ash
what
Hawkeye,
do you
so
look
they
for if
need
you're
to
these
make
teams?
something,
I expect
like
someone to
get
die
something done
over a
as a
peak
team.
ward
And now again, the
over
Trundle is pushing,
sleeping a trinket ward here very soon, because both of
so
these teams know the importance of
yeah,
setting
Samsung
up
kind
that
of missed
vision.
their chance a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's how a Samsung player would die. If SKT dies, it's because Core JJ would come in with a friend on a Abyssal Voyage with Tom Kench, since we have a 1-3-1 right now. So either it's someone trying to clear ward getting hit by an Ash Arrow, or someone SKT going for an aggressive play and getting
Right, so
countered
that's
by
like
Tom
their
Kench.
macro
Or a
mistake.
Jhin
It's just a
ultimate, which
rotational
can serve a
mistake.
similar purpose to the Ash Arrow and landing the slows for the chase down. Now,
Trundle is
another
keeping
thing to
Poppy in
keep
check
mind,
bot
because
lane,
these team
and
fights
always
are
is
very
able to
fun
be
in
there.
theory
Like,
craft. With all
this
the
is really,
well,
really not fun.
For JJ, he
That was a
hasn't used the
misspin
Grey
though,
Health yet.
by Bengi.
Facial Fissure
What did he do there?
slows
Like, the engage was so nice, but he totally misplayed that ultimate. I mean, he has flash up,
and landing
so
the slows
knowing
for the
that
chase down. Now,
Jhin has
another
flash,
thing to keep in mind, because these team
like
fights
he
are
is
very
aware of
fun
Jhin
in
being
theory
flash
craft.
up, so he wants to,
With all the
he can't flash kick the Jhin.
well,
So what he wants to do is to kick Core JJ into the Jhin. So he should have flashed here and kicked Core JJ like he should have. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you see my mouse. I think you do. He he should have flashed next to Core JJ, and then kicked Core JJ towards Ruler, so he gets the knock-up. Because this way Ruler's out of the fight, and they want him to be as close as possible. Faker can come from the side. That was a I mean, nothing really happens to SKT here because they are in the favorable situation, but that would have been a really, really great situation for them. Now he just kicks him out.
For JJ, he hasn't used the grey health yet. Glacial Fissure slows
Yeah.
down Samsung.
If he hadn't kicked him there, it would have been a
SKT that
definite kill.
initiated. The Crystal Arrow has already been used.
And Core JJ would have died too.
Teleports to
He was so
follow up.
low.
One flash from Core JJ.
Both mid laners still have their ultimates though, and both
I mean,
top
it's a
laners
stressy
as
situation,
well.
but that was
Similar amount
a
of
micro
tools
mistake
burned
that
on
he could
both
have definitely
sides.
prevented. It's something that you would have,
Slow the game down
like,
once
you could be
again.
able to
Samsung
expect from a
Galaxy
jungler of
jumped
that
on.
caliber
Guess they're just trying to
in the
farm
Worlds
and
final.
clear out that mid lane wave.
Alright, so if we do see the engage,
So still, this mid tower standing is not good for
for
Samsung.
each team.
They should have killed it
Keeper's
so
verdict
much earlier.
For Cuvit, yeah, exactly. Somebody could die there.
Let's see if Samsung will lose somebody over pink. Well, there's not enough support.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody else is converging.
I just
But
want to see it happen.
Cuve's Poppy, the Keeper's verdict, knocking out, half of a team basically, and buying the numbers advantage basically, has been huge as well. So it's not just about picking people off. It's also about separating members within a team fight once
So what,
it's spawned.
like, Samsung really needs to make something happening. They're playing for nothing right now. They're dumping around too much. Their comp strength really is right now. Poppy is tanky. Olaf is not killable for SKT right now. And Cassiopeia has her power spike item. Like, yeah, she has those two strong items. They could definitely make something happen right now. And what they're doing is warding around the Nashor, which they can't fight about at the moment. And I don't really like this. What they should do is to create more offensive positioning. Maybe like maybe go for something that they clear out those pink wards that were there from Samsung, as you can see here, those two pink wards. They want to clear those out and like get control on here and on there and maybe some here, so that they can threaten dives like this with Tahm Kench and Olaf, and really make use of the Poppy and their real strength right now, and just heavily shove up the mid lane. And what they're doing is like placing a line like this basically, and only controlling their area, their defensive area, where they want to make proactive plays. They're playing so reactively defensively right now, which is really not good for Samsung. And it's perfect for SKT because they know right now, if they get to play proactively right now and play offensive, they will only get stronger, while Samsung will start falling off soon.
Absolutely agree.
Maybe 10 more minutes and SKT will be so far in favor. So they now actually catch Faker, who tries to make an offensive play out of this. Typical Faker move.
Will lose somebody over pink. Well, there's not enough support.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody else is converging.
So
Cuve's Poppy,
I don't like what they're
Keeper's
doing, as I
verdict,
said, but
knocking out,
they see
half
Faker
of a
stepping
team,
off.
basically, and buying the numbers advantage basically.
He goes
has
like
been
in their
huge
vision
as well. So it's not just about picking people off. It's also about separating members within a
Ash
team
isn't
fight
on
once it
there.
spawns.
Absolutely agree. And as far as the
So
map
Olaf
right now, they might catch Faker.
Faker's the target, but he
Faker
tries to
there.
turn it around. Defensive
Good move
block
from
Ruler.
Samsung, and now they
Faker is
really need
shut
to start
down.
making
Ruler
pressure.
gets the kill. Teleport's
Poppy
completed for Duke,
teleports,
as
and they
well
should
as
really
Juve.
like just push it
Unbreakable
to
is
the
up.
Ash
Arrow
really
stands up.
trashy
For
ultimate.
JJ.
Just
That's not the most
desperate
important
plays. That
target.
was so bad from
Petrifying gaze
SKT.
flashed away from Duke. Is
Like the
caught
whole
down.
team fight just was so messy. They didn't expect Faker to die, and then they just screwed up so much.
Ruler gets
So
the
Faker dying here means SKT should definitely retreat to the tower and just try to make sure that they defend it as well as possible. So Wolf is doing fine defending Dooku a little bit, but that ultimate from Bang is just so bad. Why would he use it there?
is up.
Like, there was only one trigger on him. He didn't need to use it on Core JJ. And if he tried to set it on Ruler, he just like horrible.
Arrow stands up. For JJ. That's
He
not
could
the
have used
most
it now
important target.
in the backline.
Petrifying gaze flashed away from Duke. Is caught down. Core JJ.
So yeah, that's
licks
really
him to
like it's
death. The
great for
tower is the
Samsung, and
focus,
they
and Samsung
finally
have the
get
advantage.
to take that tower, even though they didn't really make a proactive play.
Ruler. He does not have the burst this time.
Samsung just did a SKT just did a mistake,
Bring back the speed balance with the Cloud Drake at 3.
and getting the Cloud Drake is
Definitely gonna
great
be
for
able
them
to take
because
this
they
one. I
now
think this
limit
is
the
full Samsung
SKT's
territory after those
boost on
two
it.
kills. And they are
But they
going to
could have
be able to
taken
play
a lot more.
themselves. The interesting thing about the Cloud Drakes, though,
a lot
you
more
can't
earlier.
take away
Like,
any of the speed of your enemy for
this
these
was just
dodging
too
of
late.
the ultimates. Now both teams have the
It's
fast
great
speed,
for them
right?
that it still
And the
happened,
Cloud
but they
Drakes
should
are
have been able to
dodging
do
Ash
this
arrows
earlier.
could mean the difference between a pick
SKT just did a
for
misplay in this.
SKT
Like, they
and
should not
avoiding certain
just
death.
get those kills by,
Jinult to
or
try
those
and
objectives
secure
just by misplays
blue.
from SKT. They should start making
Question whether
proactive
that
plays.
one's worth it, but let's watch this
Because
play one more
SKT
time.
won't make
Faker
those mistakes too many times.
steps
Faker
on a
just
trap
stacked
and
with
just
the
gets
trap.
rooted as Ambition comes in, but he's also moving forward before he has the support of the rest of his team. Faker getting caught out of position, critical moment here.
And instantly, this turns into every single member of both teams headed mid lane for that party. Samsung arrived first, and they also go for the turret dive to grab the last one. QFE with a
And
nice
SKT
little
is kind of
flash
lucky
move
they didn't
at
take
the end
more.
there to
If
snag
they
up.
killed 2 members more,
Petrifying Gaze was even just a little bit
Samsung
short.
could have just
Yeah,
taken
this hit missed
Baron.
everyone.
Could have turned even more in favor of Samsung.
Yeah.
No flashes for any members of SSG right now. So you could expect the next few minutes
So
to slow
obviously
down. They've
next
got
thing
a
on the board
minor gold
is the
lead.
Baron.
It's not worth the risk of getting caught out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
but
they
I also
are
wanna
trying to
point out
control
that
it.
SKT doesn't
That's
have
why
the
the
same
focus shifts
lack
on
of flash
onto
punishing
what's
skills
that.
they've had with
But
their
they always
regular
have to
two
send the
top lanes. It's not
Cassiopeia
like
to the
they
side
can
lane
just
because
flash in
Trundle
and
is
one
pushing
shot
so
you,
much
or you're not
heavier
avoiding
than
that
Puppy.
flash. Here, even if you do
Like,
get
there's
hit by
nothing
an Ash
Puppy
arrow
can
with
do
a
about it.
flash, if Core JJ's
Puppy can
close,
damage
he's
Trundle
just
all
gonna
the time.
devour
He
you
will
and
just
bring you to
sustain
safety.
back
So
up.
the
So
playmaking
the
from
lane
SKT
there
is somewhat
always gonna
muted and
shove
blocked
towards Puppy.
by
Trundle just
the
doesn't
stuff
care.
like the Olaf and the Tom Kench that Samsung's been able to put together.
Samsung have been able to
But
get a
still,
lot more control
Olaf
in their game.
is still in the power
With
spike.
each game in the series that is played
They
this
don't have
year,
enough burst yet.
together,
Ash
more
isn't on fire
reactive
yet.
and more on the same page, not the
She
same
has
level of
2 core items
mistakes
now that,
that allowed
like,
SKT to
when Ash gets her
accelerate what they
third,
run into.
it's
And
gonna
even
start
though
being
there is
really
this gold
critical
lead
for Olaf.
Samsung, it's so slight that it's more about completing items and actually getting back
So
out onto the
Samsung
field.
doesn't have Puppy with them. They don't have
Vision
TP. They
isn't
can't
even
do
just
anything.
Ragnarok. Knew
And
Core JJ
that's
was in
the
range.
big pro of
Exactly what
the
happens.
constant
No
Trundle
flash,
push. He can just
doesn't
like roam mid and then run bot lane again without
Very
even having to
closely matched
TP
here as
because
they
he's
go in
always
for a slow onto Wolf, and any extra
controlling the
damage off
lane.
the support, though, is hard to regenerate. They also draw out an ultimate from Bengi. Now that is one of the big healing
That's a
tools
typical
for this
Korean thing.
SKT
They don't like
squad,
to
too.
take any risk. They want to get a
I
really
agree
clean
with you. It's
situation.
the
And since
peel that
both
they
of the
need to
teams
have
wanted,
Wolf
there's
high
not
health.
really too much
He needs
happening
to
in
get
those
some
fights.
tank
They
items. He's kind
prefer
of in
to
that
retreat
split
than
push zone right now, where you
taking the
expect him
risk
to
of
be that
losing something.
1v2 raid boss, but he's just not actually shoving up the lanes to split pushable situations, because if they lose control of the mid lane, they lose control of the side lanes too, thanks to the Tom
The
Kench.
game is
So
extremely
Samsung
even,
kind of keeping
like
the SKT
stat-wise.
composition handcuffed and unable to use their
It's
best
super
tools.
even.
And that's so
There's not
important given
really
how
any
pivotal
difference. It's
Duke has
1k,
been
1.5k
all 4
gold
games leading
difference
up to this
isn't
point. If
really,
Duke has to always think
doesn't
twice
really mean
about an
anything.
abyssal voyage delivering death behind him,
And
it
again,
instantly gives
like, they move Trundle
advantage to
in, and that's
Samsung
when
because they're
the
not
only
under
time
that
Poppy
much
can
or
push.
as much
So
map pressure
by
as they
hovering
have
so
been throughout
much
the
and
course of this
waiting
best
for
of
those
5.
clean
Benji's
situations,
gonna need to ward hop to safety.
SKT
Will
just
get the pink ward.
loses their push again and again and again.
26 minutes, Kobe.
Like, Duke has TP up
So
really
close.
soon. Why isn't he bot lane
Again,
shoving it out?
marginal lead, but it is a
Why
nice
is he
edge. There's
trying to threaten
no real
the
advantage
Baron or the
with,
fight or
with
whatever?
Vision on
It's
the
just,
gold,
that was just stupid.
because neither team's going past the river. Like, this is such shallow vision that is being fought over.
Now they know he has
If there
to
is,
clean the
it's
wave,
the
and they can
fact
super
that
easily
so
just
much
like
of the
clear
gold
out
here
all
is
the wards
focused
again
on
and
these carries
run
of
into
Samsung.
jungle happily
Ruler
and
on
getting
the Jhin
control back.
especially with the
That
lion's
just
share
shouldn't have
here.
happened. If Duke pushed
The
this
last
like
two Jhin games
instantly
have
and
been pretty exquisite. He had 9 kills
then he
in
had
their last
TP
two
up and the
breakthrough
lane would have
fields
been
here.
pushing towards Samsung earlier, it would
And
have
it
been
shows
so much
why,
better.
SKT in the beginning of this year has prioritized taking it away from him.
Then Ash slips through, and even though Ash had exceptional results in the
The
semifinals,
Samsung is
he
in
was
a
also picking
controlled
largely
position,
forward
which is
throughout
to be
a
expected
lot
because
of
they
the
have the
group
better
stage
controlling
quarterfinals
champions.
because of the
And the
substantial
only
advantage that Ash
way
actually had before
is,
Worlds.
especially because it's
But
4v5
still
right now,
successful
and
Ash
the only
plays
way
is
that
not the
SKT can
skill
really
or
prevent it is
tools they
by
have to
Trundle
prevent the
pushing,
Ash arrows from
which he
getting
shouldn't
through
stop
and
now.
leading to kills.
Like, he's moving towards
Look
Poppy
at
to
this
stop it,
Ruler, Ruler and
to
Core
stop
JJ
Poppy coming there, but he should
backing
just
out.
keep hammering on that turret.
Glimpse there of Crown, and when Crown won in the semifinal,
He has TP up. If they tried to do anything, he could have just joined,
looking
and now
forward to the
he's
finals,
again
how if
moving in,
Samsung were going to win,
which will
how
cause
they
him
have
to
to be
lose
able
the
to go
push.
toe-to-toe and step up
I don't
to
perfectly agree
Faker
on the
behind
around the play. playstyle there. I mean, of course he wants to be present and create pressure, but he has TP up. He doesn't need to constantly lose his push.
Just
He could
think
just shove
back
the
to the
Poppy
beginning
so
of this
deeply into
series
the
and
turret so
how
that Poppy can't
one-sided it
really do
started
anything.
out
And now
with
Poppy again has
SKT
the opportunity to
almost
fully push out
completely
the wave.
destroying Samsung and even having a big lead in that deciding game where Samsung were able to stall it out 70 minutes.
This has almost been a tale of two series. You wonder how Samsung was able to turn it around, down 10,000 gold in game 2 to now be up in game 5 against SKT. It's miraculous, and SKT was pretty much running a victory lap. We were talking about their legacies coming in, and it seemed like it was a certainty, but they messed up at the Baron Pit. Samsung capitalized, and they've just been on fire ever since.
Will the Samsung legacy continue with a win? Will they be declared the 2016 World Champions? We're 30 minutes into the game. All of the summoners are now available once again.
Right, so
The same question I did 10
SKT
minutes ago.
uses
Is the answer still
this
the
like
same? Vision and
not
or
properly.
initiation from these
They don't
ultimates.
use their only power
Nobody
action. Like
is playing risky right now.
the only real edge that they have
This game
is
is
Trundle
always
being
about
able to
vision
push
and
in
initiation,
all
risk
the time,
tolerance, risk
and they don't
versus
use
reward,
it.
how well you
They don't
execute
make him
those
shove in
plays.
enough.
With an Infernal Drake now being up, it's all about this lower Drake pit, but can they get a pick
Complete
beforehand? The answer is no. That gives SKT
nothing doing
the
ult from
ability to
Jin,
move in
so
for some
they're
vision.
just like
Such
hovering
an
each other, and
important
they don't
ultimate
really
there,
make
burned
proactive
from
plays. None
Samsung
of them.
for
They are too
almost
scared to do
nothing as
anything right now,
SKT,
so they're
Wolf puts up
playing
the
back and forth,
unbreakable,
trying
and
to
they're able to
claim
weather the
control,
storm.
which is
Now they have a
perfect for
huge advantage.
SKT. They don't
Their
have
Ashe
like
Arrow
they're not in a
still
rush,
available to make a pick.
but it's really bad for
Ambition
Samsung.
holding on to it as long as he can. Here comes Core JJ.
SKT could
Back.
make it even
Ambition
like
now
heavier.
throws down the Ragnarok. No Devour
They
just
will
yet,
get
but this
that break
will
most likely.
capitalize on the
They could have
Infernal
done
Drake.
this a
Gets
little heavier by
killed
having
by
more push from
SKT.
Trundle, but
Ashe Arrow
right now
holds
they
the
need
ground.
the
Core
wave pushing
JJ
and his
eats
push,
him
so
and
that's good.
flashes away. Crowd
And Olaf
survives
getting
with his
cocked a
life.
little bit means an
TP
easy Drake.
wasted and dragon to SKT.
Juve is still pushing in the top lane, and Duke does have teleport. He can easily go back to Fountain and catch those minions. So,
So
Samsung
3
don't need
Drakes
to
on
get
SKT
any map
who
pressure
have
out of that.
the late
That being
game
said,
spike.
there was a little bit
It's
of,
probably one
miscoordination
reason
from SKT there
why
as
they
they,
in the end
half of them
won
go
that
for the
game.
dragon, whereas Bangy is using Flash Ultimate on Lee Sin to get a pick, but Bang is DPSing Dragon, not there to finish off the
But
kill. They
it's
do
not
get
really
the
like
objective
Trundle
in
is
the end.
pushing around the
We can
Puppy,
tell
it's more
how
like Puppy
tense it is
pushing
for
around
these
the
players
Jungle,
and how quickly they're
which
making these
is
decisions.
not
Not even
not
time
good.
to alert the other member.
And you really have to just take your hat off to these
But
guys.
Samsung is just
5.5 hours they've
not
been in these
fast
chairs
enough.
playing
They're
this
not
game,
proactive
trying
enough.
to
They're
decide
too
who will
scared
be
and too afraid to
world
make a
champions.
mistake. Well, they should
With
really,
plays like
really
that, getting the third
use
Drake
that Trundle,
against Samsung, getting some
Tom
of that late game
Kench
skill, but still not having the
engage,
gold, maybe not even
and
having the
really make
initiation
something
tool, not
proactive
having the
happen.
ability to disengage, we could still be in for many more minutes of League of Legends.
And an Infernal Drake at that. At
Faker will
post
generate
30
more,
minutes,
but more and more
huge
bursts, and
value
Ashe
there
will generate more and
to
more
pick up.
damage. So it's gonna look worse and worse for the Olaf rushing in there.
This time around, a little bit more damage from the curtain call, but the Unbreakable blocks so much.
Yep.
Wolf doing wonders with this
So
ball.
Samsung not
Starting
really
out
playing
for
to
the
their
close
limits.
to look for those picks.
They're not
Not finding
perfectly
it, and
using
that
their
once
comp. They're
again
trying to
gives initiation
structuredly
advantage over to
get
SKT
control,
with their Ashe Arrow.
which is good, but
Samsung setting up
they've
wards,
set up
though,
this
so
control
they
and then
didn't-
they just
it
lose
wasn't
it
a
for
useless
nothing
ultimate.
instead
They
of
got
making a
into the red
proactive
quad,
play
they
out of
placed
it.
the
So
wards,
this
and
is
now they're
something
actually trying
proactive,
to
but it's not really working out anyways. The Ashe Hawk shot can always prevent this, so they need to make a fight now. They want to fight, why aren't they?
Once again, holding onto that
I don't
Ragnarok,
understand why they're
waiting
not
for the
making a
Devour.
proactive fighting situation. They have good control set up, they have control here and there, but they're still not creating a proactive fight situation.
Free vision that you
They
get with
just
those
tried a
actions
little bit,
cannot
but it
be
wasn't
understated
really
in this
something
caliber of play.
that could work
And I
out
think you're
against
gonna
an
risk
Ashe with
pushing.
their hook
This
shot.
game is so
If they
tense right
do
now.
this
I don't know
over
if
and
it's
over,
ever
it might
had
work out after
a
a
more
while because
tense
Ashe doesn't have this in it.
experience in a world final.
Stacks, but they're just
Correct.
creating
Maybe even in League of
proactive
Legends, only
situations
because of
too
what's at stake.
rarely
It's
to
a
have
world
anything positive happen.
championship right now, and
I think
we're
it's a longer. Oh no, we're almost
1,600
through.
gold
Just
different,
15
32
minutes, I
minutes
guess.
into the game with matched team compositions that have relatively equal scaling. The entire year can hinge on a single moment.
And the two people battling, it's like the prince and the pauper. You
So
cannot
now
be further apart in terms of their
SKT's like
histories
they're
and their
building up
stories
stronger and
coming
stronger.
into
Duke
this.
will be starting to get
Telecom
tanky, so he can be
on the
impactful
verge
in lane
of being
and
defeated by Samsung.
in team fights.
Not even just the entire year of these two teams.
While from now
The
on, Olaf
entire
basically
year
is
of
falling
every
off.
team that's been eliminated from Worlds, all watching and waiting
and Bangi just like he's getting taken into, so they don't need to be scared of this. And there's nothing really they can like Samsung can do about the Baron anymore.
Faker's ghosting.
So it's starting to swing heavily towards SKT. And that was a really good proactive play, chaining the CC perfectly. That's exactly what they need. So it worked really nice. Great situation. I'll just go back to it and see it again. So again, something that can't really work out. I mean, they're trying to clear vision, but at the same time, like the Poppy is pushing out right now. She has TP, so they can create something proactive here. But instead, they just get scared off. And now there's a nice Bang ultimate. And Crown is still not in position to may have any impact. Same for Jun. They're like, let's retreat. And after a while, it can't just work again. Like, this had to happen. Because of them constantly doing it, being too scared. So they create a good pick scenario. Cuvée cancelling the TP and now running over this play.
But I also wonder
So
how much the
Samsung is
history of
just
this
not
series
playing
will
to
be
their
in the
limits.
back
They
of
pick such an
SKT's
offensive
mind.
comp
They started losing this
that
series when they forced
plays
Baron.
on making, like,
SKT gets a pick on
picking
someone
Olaf
like that,
Cassiopeia
they
always
are relentless
implements
with
in this.
forcing Baron. Yet
And
they
they're just not
scatter
willing
now.
to
They
take
go
it,
back
so
to controlling ways. They don't even
they
look
don't
at the
use their
Baron.
comp.
Well, you have to do your homework here. You have to take step number one, which is clear out the vision. That's just a support kill. It's a support kill on a Tom Kent who can Abyssal Voyage back to the Baron pit.
Bengi taxes that again. Safeguard. Baron is the only thing these teams are looking at. With 35 minutes in, Duke is finally pushing down the bottom lane. It's the first time he's gone sort of past that river in what feels like 10 or 15 minutes. The threat of the engage from Core JJ's kept him at bay. And
Right, Sakran really is out of position there, but again, that's why the time catch pick is so valuable.
Oh yeah,
Crown would have been super dead there.
Yeah, that's what Bang is thinking.
All right, they're not. Oh, Crown is really low.
A lot of damage from the
And
Chaos
again,
Storm.
he's
Core
just
JJ is going to gobble him up.
Jumped
That
up.
will block
Nothing
the next
happened.
few ticks, and it's coming apart the hinges.
The time catch pick is so valuable, especially with their not adequate playstyle. It kind of secures them out of really bad situations.
Ambition is going to be waiting for those cooldowns to come back up before he can have any sort of meaningful impact in the team fight now. And SKT, these small advantages adding up and up.
And you're wondering when they can actually spill over into a real advantage, because they actually, despite getting all the RAS, haven't controlled vision at the Baron pit, and they're not looking to burst it down. It's actually
So,
Samsung
finally,
who's pushing back up towards
first
the mid lane
time
because Faker's in the
Samsung
sideway.
This time
grouping
Wolf
and
is
pushing.
not there to block off the
Look at
curtain
this.
call. The final shot
Why are
was
they
supposed to
only
be held
doing now?
a very long time, finally blocked off. Here comes Bengi. Kick back
Like,
there.
they're not fighting.
Ragnarok
They, like,
loses his life.
look
They
at
traded
this.
jungler for
It's just sad. That's just so sad. Olaf is not doing anything there.
This
He
time
has
round,
no
Wolf
ult.
is not there to block
No
off
Ghost,
the
he runs
curtain
to the
call.
tower, hits
The
it like
final shot
4
was supposed
times
to be
maybe,
held
and then simply, like, look at Olaf.
very
He does nothing.
time.
The whole thing, he doesn't do anything, any damage, any threat.
Here comes
It's just like the super variable target. They can't, he's not doing anything really. Well, look at what they still can do without anything, like any impact.
Ragnarok
Burst down
loses his life.
least
They
is
traded
so heavily.
jungler for jungler. They only send Wolf away.
Imagine
Cuvée
this
caught
with
up the
Olaf
gravity
being
field, forced to flash
fully
defensively,
charged,
trading lives of
taking
junglers.
out Bang off the
Few
fight.
ultimates as well.
And where will the advantages trigger over? Junglers trade their lives because
So,
Bengi
like,
walks through for a kick while taking
this
RAS.
going
SKT with the much higher
towards
health bars.
SKT,
and I
not
would
too
have thought that they
heavily,
would have
but like
transitioned
little
down to the
bit.
Drake after that, but they
I mean,
make a
they obviously
beeline
won
for
that
this brush to
this
try and make a
situation
brush
because
play
Olaf
on
was
Samsung.
super useless
Not gonna
there.
work though,
But
and they
with
lose
an
out on
Olaf
a bit
that
of the
was on
time
fire,
where they
in
did
that
have some
situation would have
momentum.
looked so different.
He gets
What was
by
Ruler
Core
doing
JJ's
there?
so
Oh
much.
my gosh.
Make a
What is he
beeline for this
doing?
brush to try and make a brush play on Samsung. Not gonna
Like,
work though.
good
And they
snare,
lose out on
obviously, but
a bit of the time where
what is he doing? How can he be doing this? There's nothing to support him. Of course, Tom Kench can chomp him, But what is he doing? Holy crap.
Where they did have
Look how close he goes.
some momentum.
It's a miracle that they didn't instantly kill him.
So much trouble. Flashes away to safety.
That was so misplayed.
Why were they so far forward?
Ruler has done that multiple times, gets super aggressive when unnecessary. This costs his team tremendously. CoreJJ sacrifices life.
That should be a Baron. Wow.
This could be where the advantages spill over. Cuvée does
That
have a
was
teleport,
super heavy
but SKT
display.
have Baron at half, and they have the vision control.
Here comes Cuvée and Crown. Petrifying Gaze is available. It's now a 2 versus 4. Flash! Is in so much trouble. Concussive blows. Get to Petrifying Gaze. That's just going to delay the inevitable. Crown goes
What's a
down.
misplay from Ruler
The
though?
tension overwhelms. The tension just overwhelms Samsung right there. It's Baron, it's 2 deaths, it's SKT moving towards the Elder Drake, or will they just take the dead Cassiopeia to try and get turrets?
These players that are new to the championship stage at the critical moment, Ruler makes a mistake, Crown flashes in a line, and SKT punished heavily.
No flash over the wall for Elder Drake steal on the Olaf. Huge swing for the veterans SKT as they try and
So yeah, they
secure
just,
their
like,
third
that
world
mistake from Ruler
championship.
gave SKT so much.
Just a mistake. Look at this flash.
Oh,
I love the
straight
flash,
line.
it looks so
He didn't
nice,
wanna
but it's
flash
just
out
towards the
because
wrong
that takes him farther
direction.
away from the base, and he wasn't close enough to the wall to flash over it, but you still don't
Was
flash
he? I
in a
thought he was
straight
taking
line
it.
when the
Yeah.
Ash arrow is coming at you, and SKT immediately
So that simply shouldn't
transitioned
have
over to the
happened.
Elder
Ruler
Drake,
made
and
such a
now
misplay
they have
there,
their
and he
first
knows
real
it probably.
advantage of the game.
That's gonna ruin their
5,000 gold.
confidence a lot more,
Can they
which
close
isn't
it?
good.
Samsung did not give up earlier
it's-
in the series, and they will
See,
not
they
give
were
up
so strong
that
in the mid game.
easily.
Why didn't
still
they use
have
this
a
advantage?
full line
I
of
mean,
secondary turrets to work through
that's just so
before
sad.
getting
They
to
had
the
so
inhibitor
much
one.
more power in
And
that
yes, I do
phase of
expect
the game, but
SKT
now
to get a
SKT can just
massive
start
amount
slowly,
of gold off
but
of this
surely
play,
pushing
as you
everywhere.
can see with the
This-
Baron power play once again.
Because they
Yeah,
definitely have the
let's take
pushing
that timer.
advantage with
Also,
Trundle and
this is where the
Dash.
split push Trundle really wreaks
So,
havoc,
and
because they
obviously
can't
the
stop him
Baron
from
and
killing
the
the
Elder
turrets,
buff,
and
so this is
4v4
not
they
looking
can't
good for
stop the rest
Samsung
of
at
them
all.
from killing the turrets because Cuvée is occupied in the side lane.
The SKT hype
So,
train
like,
coming
Samsung
into the station once again.
has
Baron
outlived.
and
They're like
Elder
they're beyond their
Dragon on
power
them, taking down the inhibitor turret snare onto Wolf.
Cuvée
power
and Jip
spike.
fighting the
It's
top
not
lane. The
really
4v4
in
looking
Samsung's
for
favor anymore.
opportunities. Bang
And
still
then
has
the Baron buff,
enchanted
but they still
crystal
have
arrow,
the
flash,
Elder
and
and so
heal.
stuff.
Two Samsung
Um,
Galaxy be looking to take out him or Faker.
It's
and
like
it's just such a tough
not
task.
good
Crown's
for
gonna top.
Samsung. They will
30
be
seconds left on this
definitely
Elder Drake, so Samsung
losing a
really
lot
don't
from
want to get
this.
engaged in a fight, but they also
See how
really
Bang
don't
is
want to
just
lose to inhibitors, so
slowly,
they might
surely
go back.
chipping down that
Take
turn.
a look. Unbreakable wills up on the front.
Because there's nothing
Not
they
gonna
could
use
do
the
about it.
Ragnarok or the Ghost. Curtain
Throw
call.
down.
Not going to be enough to really bother SK Telecom. Wolf sidesteps into the final shot. That still doesn't
The waves
matter.
are
Look at how
pushing. They
disciplined
can see what I
SKT
do.
is trying to play right here. The curtain call comes
The
up,
waves are pushing
stalls their push.
all
They actually
sides,
lose the Elder Drake buff now.
Yeah, maybe
and
they
don't
were a
get
little
any
too
inhibitors down.
overeager on
Despite
pushing
the
this in.
6,600
They
gold
would
Baron
have
power play,
played
when
a
you're
little
dealing
more.
with the triple
I mean,
elemental Drake
they could have
Elder,
just
that
stayed a
actually I
little
think is
safer and then
a good hold from
maybe
Samsung,
played
but
with
they're
the
still
two
gonna have
waves
a large hill from them to come
punching
back.
in, but
Definitely
yeah.
a well. Oh, Duke actually gonna have to flash that one.
Nice
But
flash
definitely a well above average.
I mean,
Baron
it's a
power
good
play
try
here
from
for
Samsung
SKT,
doing
because
like
the
creating a
game was
proactive
almost
situation
dead even
because they're in a
when that
really,
mistake
really,
came
really
in
bad
the mid lane
position.
from Ruler, and look how heavy the punishment is.
Yeah. Never bet against SKT. Faker picking the victor away from Crown. 5 kills, max items before 40 minutes. Something he has done so many times this series. But this also means they can't let Samsung match him. They need to be able to use these max items to hammer home their edge.
Seems to be the case as SK
So,
Telecom are
yeah,
once again
SKT
grouped up.
just
Using their numbers
slowly punching in
Faker got
Cuvée
poked.
hanging
because
out
they're
in
really,
the
really
bottom
not
lane,
enough.
trying to deal with that minion wave.
I mean, the
No
Baron is
wards
up
to
now.
teleport into, so even though Faker was running low, this one pink ward, which
There's nothing really they need to
all
do.
of SKT have already gotten away from.
Oh no, it's not quite half,
Samsung
but it will be off.
in a familiar place, down at 40 minutes.
Down but not out. Not quite yet. And they continue to play the defensive vision game, clearing out the wards, immediately moving into their own jungle.
Yeah, so
But
Samsung
man, such a
is in a
heavy
bad
gold
position.
lead
They
so
need to hope for
quickly.
a good flank
Will
fight
they be ready
maybe,
for the extra burst damage? Like
or
that was
be able
such
to
a huge
get them
influx
in a
of
bad
gold.
position where
Guardian
they can
Angel
actually use their
advantages.
power. But
has
since
to
they
be
haven't
kind of
played
more quick
proactive
silver sashes.
throughout the
Recently
whole
picked
game,
up
they're
a
most likely just going to be turtling around their
Crossfire
base, not
has
really
that
doing
one
anything.
available.
Yeah, even the GA on Wolf.
Like they have the more proactive comp.
That Ruler
SKT has a
needs to
pick
stay
comp,
very far back.
which
He has
obviously
no
is a
bad
proactive
numbers
thing, but
on that Jhin, and Faker with the
like
Lich Bane.
Simpson is
back, you
such a
say, eh?
rushing,
Faker can one-shot
continuous
him.
damage,
He has
proactive
that is
engage
what
comp,
that Lich Bane
and they
Victor
really
build
didn't make use
does.
of it at all. Like they did it once in
Not
bot
going
lane,
to play
the
for
Tom
the front
Kench
foot.
ultimate, which was so good.
Faker's flashed aggressively
I
with
should have kept
ultimates
doing this
all
more
day
times.
long.
Keep your eyes on Tom Kench though, because
Look at
Core
that damage.
JJ can
Bam
save a
can just
life.
shred
Core
through that Olaf.
JJ can save the carries.
He needs to do more than that. He needs to deliver someone to take a life. Core JJ cannot play defensively if Samsung want to turn this one around.
The thing
And
with
as soon
the
as
Core
Duke
JJ
hits up
ultimates
on
at
that
this
top
point in the
wave,
game is that you either need to
which
be
you
at the
should
end
be
of
doing
fights
instead of
or while
fleeing the wolf,
SKT is split pushing. Because if you're going into a 5v5
they're
with
able to
Tom
push
Kench,
in again.
you get wrecked on top of Victor's gravity.
They're not in a rush at all. SKT can take any time they
free
want.
skill shot accuracy for Faker. Very difficult mode for Samsung to play right now.
Juve is able to sidestep those skill shots. 42 minutes. You could
Like it's not even
feel and
anymore.
cut
SKT, you see it on the goal difference.
as
They're
SK
slowly but
Telecom are
surely
now
just
looking to close the game out. They have
jumping
not
in. They have
had
no
the
rush.
cleanest of wins. SKT have made mistakes. They've been caught out of position and they've overreached at times.
And
They don't
this
need to take
is their
any
chance
risk. They
to
just
end
slowly
this
but
game
surely
cleanly, 'cause they
punch
have
in, and when
almost
there's
a
full
item
builds,
advantage
SKT is
on
definitely
all of
in
their
the lead.
players.
So
Everybody on Samsung
they
still needs
can
to
take
fill
it
in an
easy.
extra item. But the longer the game goes on, the closer Samsung work to that point where they even it up again and have another good shot at a team fight.
Yeah, and with the Baron coming up
I
shortly,
feel like
that's the
SKT
moment where
is
SKT
like
need to kind of strike. Samsung's
they
trying
already
to
are
ward
so
control,
far in the
but
edge.
this is where
They
the
just
biggest danger
like
is going to be. This
they
is
have
the most
9k
likely
gold lead.
SKT
It
is here.
doesn't mean that much. I
They
mean, it
to
means
close it out and win their third
it
world
still means
championship.
something at
Can
this
they get
point.
division control? Can they get a pick?
But
if
it's more
Samsung
about
decides to
positioning, and
stop the
right
affair?
now
And
it's
if they
about
do
using
get
the
that
comp,
pick,
and
the
Samsung
game
has
is
been
likely over
using their
because they
comp
then have the Baron buff as
not
well as Deadman
properly,
was
or
on
not the
Samsung.
way they could have
They
used
have
it
to do
to
it,
create
and
actual
it's not
like
gonna be
better
easy.
situations, more pressure, and they just didn't. So I feel like SKT
Still
will
in with a shot.
just
Baron
chill
up
and
in
wait for
20
the right
seconds.
situation and
Elder
then use it.
Dragon probably about 40 to 60 away. Because of course SKT
Trundle has
took
changed
both
to
of them, one after the other.
yeah, like he's full build
We've
and
seen
changed to Titanic
a lot of
Hydra. So
split
the push
priority
from
about
Trundle that
which
is
objective
coming
they
in
want.
is just
Samsung this time
insane.
around definitely wants that Baron buff.
Nice,
They've
so
only
Baron
got
is
a
up,
single Cloud Drake under their belt. It is not going to be
and that
as
should be
useful to
the
them.
real point for SKT.
Baron has arrived.
It's the last,
Again,
really the last chance
fight
for
over
Samsung.
wards leading
Well,
into
even if they
Baron.
pick it up,
Once
SKT
again,
will
will
probably
rage
be
as
able to
SKT
like live
moving to
through it,
clear them out, but
unless they
crucially,
really
Ambition
get
got
oh,
the scuttle grab, but even more crucially, has no
I mean,
ultimate
it's
for
so
the
stupid to
team
use
fight.
it on Olaf.
No one to
It
haste him
forces
out.
Olaf
SKT
up, which is
immediately
nice,
turn for the Baron right
which is
now.
really worth
Teleport
it, but
going.
I love how it
Camera
hit.
shot, Juve, the Baron's already secured.
Look at that,
Taken
that was
by
so
SKT.
beautiful. And saying it was stupid on Olaf to use it on Olaf was probably wrong, because look at that.
Baron once again will rage.
Like,
as
their only real threat is Olaf.
SKT move.
There has nothing really proactively happened from Crown. Ruler is staying on really far distance, so it doesn't make a difference whether they can't really focus him. He's too protected, so the real target for them is always the Olaf. And that's why the late game is so good for them, because they can shred through Olaf a lot better. And this ult,
Clear them out.
I can't believe it hit actually.
Crucially,
And it's so deadly, because now Olaf is forced to use the Ragnarok.
Ambition got the scuttle
So he doesn't get kicked.
grab,
Look at that. Listen, did he ult?
but
No.
even more
But,
crucially,
like,
has
but
no
he had to use
ultimate
the
for
ult,
the
so now
team fight.
SKT has,
No one to haste
like,
him
they
either.
know
SKT
there's no
immediately
threat
turn
coming from
for the Baron
Samsung.
right now.
Samsung doesn't have anything.
Oh, Olaf camera
Like,
choice
they don't have
here.
any threat to the backline. What are they gonna do?
Already secured, taken
that should be
by
the game,
SK
right?
Telecom. Juve finishes off the TP, turns around to try and help protect
Like,
Ruler.
for-
Chaos Storm will
it's gonna
allow
give them
Ambition. Seeing it as
a
GA
free Baron.
hops.
Now they got them the
Faker
ditching
with
thing, which
SKT,
I don't
they get
understand.
another kill.
They should have just given up
Beautifully
the Baron
done by
after that
SKT right there. Getting
situation.
Ambition's ultimate and immediately going
And now
for
they
the
can
Baron
try
and
to
then cutting
transfer
off
that
his
into a
charge.
big push.
This is game 5.
That was such a great ult
SK
from Baron.
Telecom the winningest
They
team
played
in
relatively
World's
weak
history,
through the laning
led by
phase, and that one was
Faker,
really
the
nice.
greatest competitor to ever play the game.
They're just gonna break
And
the
they're
lane.
closing
Trying to
Jump
get a
it down.
pick. He's not there to clear the mid lane
I
wave.
love it.
Faker is even
That was so
gonna
beautiful.
sidestep those
Patient though.
butchers.
Faker's expecting him to be.
Anticipating it. He knows who
But
he's
it's exactly
up
what I
against.
said.
25
SKT is in
seconds
no rush
before
at all.
Ambition respawns.
They were just like
Baron
having
in
chilly
power
time there,
minions,
waiting and
a
waiting and
super
waiting, and then
minion coming
they
down
got
the
the
mid
right
lane.
opening to ult that
Just a
up,
moment or two as that
forcing
inhib
out
falls.
his ult,
SKT,
the
they
only real
outturn
threat
their
in
intentions
the
to the top
competition.
lane. Bang takes a lot of damage.
Sad, at least they
Ruler
didn't get a
is
good
forced
pick
to be
there, but
devoured.
still they're
Cubase
just like
uses the
breaking open the
verdict to buy
base.
some time.
Oh,
His
he's
GA
down.
is popped. Crowd's
Faker
looking
does
for
a lot of
target
damage.
to use the petrifying gaze. Chaos
And
Storm
you
is
look,
almost
you
up
see
for
it is.
Faker.
That was
The
the
second
perfect
inhibitor
situation
falls,
for
and
SKT. They got 2
SKT
inhibs.
back
Olaf is
away.
just back right now,
Samsung's
and they
base is
couldn't really do
broken.
anything.
SKT looking poised. Their play in the last 20 minutes has been very methodical
I like
and
to
clean.
skip
They've
a little
taken
bit.
a
Shouldn't
close
be too
game
much more
into
though.
a 13,000
I'd like to
gold
hop to
lead.
the next team
We're
fight.
going to help continue putting pressure on those. Samsung have to respond. Curtain call
So
to
they're
buy
just
some
pushing
time,
in
but
now.
it only
Another
connects
great
into
ult onto Olaf.
Duke. Ambition's
You
not
could say he doesn't need it on
use
Olaf,
the
but he doesn't
Ragnarok
even
or the
Ragnarok.
Ghost.
Oh wait, let me jump back a little bit so I see everything. As I'm starting to talk stupid stuff.
Chasing him down with the
And I don't
Chaos
want to
Storm.
leave such a
Big
bad
is
impression
not
on
going to
you.
find a target as Core JJ forced to devour Samsung Galaxy. They're running away with their lives.
And time is
So
working against them.
SKT
The
slowly
minions are
can just
flooding
wait
in
for
the
mid
base.
and top wave
SKT
to
are
shove in
knocking at
there.
the door.
It seems so close. The Super Minions
So
now
now
onto
the
the
Super
Nexus
Minions
side.
hit the
Samsung
base,
have
which
to
means
respond.
Samsung
Curtain call to buy
has
some
to
time,
defend
but
that.
it only connects onto Duke.
I mean, he
Ambitions don't use
wanted
the
to shoot it on
Ragnarok or the
Ruler,
Ghost just
obviously.
yet.
If that had
Nexus
worked, it would have
turret
been
is
even better, but
under
3
threat.
inhibs
A
down,
third inhibitor
just
falls,
using the
and
2 inhib
SKT
advantage
are doing
perfectly.
this by the numbers.
They're
I
just
hope
not
there was a
giving
team fight there,
windows
but
for
it wasn't. They're
Samsung to
gonna go for
engage. The
Elder
only way Samsung could have gotten a flank is if
without contesting.
To claim their prize.
Oh yeah, I love this animation. I love
Now
it
they
so
were-
much. I like it really.
we were talking about the SKT victory lap in the
Love it.
Game 3 comeback.
Nice
when they
animations.
had
I
the
like
10,000
Riot's doing
gold
this.
lead. This is more
Deadly flourish as
Right, so
Samsung
they have 3 inhibs down, pushing
are
in.
under.
Let me just jump back a little bit so I can see the whole situation.
this would be the time
Shoving
for them
in
to do it.
Feels like SK
with double
Telecom
super minions on each
know
wave, obviously.
exactly how to play against
Oh, the
Samsung's
Drake.
team composition. The arrow this time goes between the
The arrow goes
goalposts.
wide,
Cubase under
sadly.
threat. Deadly flourish as Samsung are under pressure. This is buying
But look
time
at
for
that
those super
Faker
minions
damage.
to
He's
pour
zoning
in,
them so
kick
heavily.
around.
Look at
Crown's
this
able to
ultimate.
flash so he doesn't
It
get
did so
caught,
much
but
work there.
Cubase down.
Oh
And
my
it's a
gosh.
war of attrition. They're
Yeah.
just waiting for
And they're
the
just like,
Duke
they just played
flashes
this
forward,
methodically,
chops down to
slowly,
kill
jumped in
Crown.
there, and
SK
there's nothing they
Telecom
can do
have
about
got
it. This game
make
line
that
here.
3 kills. The curtain
Nothing,
call
there's not too
is
much
a
to say about
fitting
this
end
fight.
to
Samsung
the
couldn't
World
really do anything
Championship
about
as
it. They had,
Samsung Galaxy
like,
are
they were
being
over
dove
their
into their tower.
winning condition
SK
time by
Telecom
far.
have overcome
They had their power
every
spike between
challenge.
20 and
They are
30 maybe,
the
like
undisputed
their biggest one. They were so far ahead in that time, or maybe even 15 to 30. They could have done so much and they just didn't.
best
So I
team in
guess,
the world.
yeah.
The SK
I feel like the Poppy pick wasn't the proper thing to do. It was relatively weak. Let's look at the stats a little bit.
Galaxy are being
Just stats. There you go. I feel like the Poppy pick was relatively weak. Didn't really have that much of an impact throughout the whole game. It gave them a defensive like security option, but they didn't really ever make use of their composition properly. They could have done so much more with the Olaf Tamkench rush. They just kind of missed out on that, while SKT, after making mistakes in the mid game, just like started to take it super slow and easy and waited for the right situations, while Samsung, who were forced to kind of play offensive and proactive, just didn't, and that kind of cost them the game. They were too like scared, and definitely deserved the win for SKT there. Alright, I guess that's about it. If you have any other questions, you can feel free to ask me. I'm not sure how I'm gonna present the whole thing to you because I feel like it's gonna be huge. Let me see the size of the thing here. It's like I don't know, it should be about 3 gigabytes, so you will have issues. I will have huge issues sending you this, so I don't know how I'm gonna present it to you. We will see. I'll figure out something. Alright, that's about it.